Hello. So here we are talking about Ayurveda again. And for this video, I wanted to basically just announce that I would be making a series of videos on Ayurveda, but actually on this chapter 2, the fundamentals of Ayurveda. So this is the basic of Ayurveda and it gets pretty deep into the concept. So I'm going to try my best to summarize and move quickly through the chapter, of course. But I think it's important to go through the fundamentals instead of talking about deeper things because it seems like people don't know what I'm talking about. So, my first page, which we are on page 16, of the fundamentals of Ayurveda, the first one was just an introductory paragraph, but this is chapter 2. And let me put the lights on. So here are the 5 elements you see. Panchamahabhuta, the 5 basic elements, and Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is very theoretical, very philosophical. It involves using analogies. So these 5 elements are basic, like analogies that are present in the world. Actually, they're more like themes that you can make analogies with, basically. So it's like a theme, a universal theme. Like light and darkness is a universal theme. So you can make light as a theme and color as a theme and so forth. So these are the 5 the most basic elements of the matter. And these are their representations. We see fire, we see wind, and we see space. What is that? Water and earth. The 4 Vedas are considered to be the oldest texts in the world, dealing with all matters pertaining to individual and social well-being. Ayurveda originated from the Vedas as an Upaveda or supplementary Vedic text, and is considered to be a branch of Atharva Veda, although its information is present everywhere. In addition to describing medicinal herbs and plants, the Vedas mention the basic principle of Ayurveda, like the 3 doshas, the 7 dhatus, or tissues, prana, or chi, digestion, metabolism, and rejuvenation. Similarly, other important principles of Ayurveda are also mentioned in the 4 Vedas. The basic principles of Ayurveda are in accordance with the great philosophies of ancient India, in particular with the Sankhya, Yoga, and Vashishka philosophies, which are 3 systems among the Sat Darshans, or 6 Vedic schools of thought. So Sankhya and Yoga also say that 5 elements combine to create everything, even material and non-living. Living and non-living, but in the physical world. And so all of these dosha, dhatu, malas are also composed of these 5 elements. But even though they're all present everywhere, one element usually is the main one in one substance. So different substances are unique because of the predominance of one of the elements. So it's like a fingerprint, the composition of these 5 elements in every substance. Although all 5 elements are when the element of space dominates in a substance, it is called akashya. Substances that have qualities of air are termed vayavya, and the ones with fire are tejas, Texas, Those with water are the main constituent are apya. And substances with the, now I don't know how to pronounce this, so hopefully I'm doing it right. Substances with the predominance of the earth element are prithviya. So akashya, vayuya, tejas, apya, and parthiva, prithviya. So to identify the category, we must look at the qualities. So this is what I'm talking about. This is when you understand the qualities of a substance or of an element, like in this case, then you understand, then you can compare and contrast things better. And you can determine its effects also, cause and effects, by knowing these things. So it's very important to understand these qualities in the study of the physical world. So akashya, what is this element of space? Akashya means space, empty space. So empty space is soft, it is light, it is minute, homogeneous, and vocal. So whichever space, if you release a gas into space, it's gonna eventually be homogeneous and dissipate out. And it's minute, as opposed to vast. I don't know, minute. That doesn't make sense, but anyway, I don't know what they mean by minute. Homogeneous and vocal in their attributes, so sound travels through space. Intake of these items increases tenderness, lightness. You know, that's why they say smoke weed every day, solve the problems of the world. Potheads, if everyone smoked weed, we wouldn't have any war, you know. Tenderness, lightness, okay, because it has a space element. Kinetic energy, or motility and porosity in the body. Porosity is the holiness of the body. Like how many holes does it have? Not how, yeah. So anyway, I guess the more holes you have, the more you're connected to these surroundings. So it's holy. Motility is movement. So you know how space controls movement. Different sized tubes will have different rates of speed, and you can actually control motility by controlling the space. And kinetic energy. So depending on how much space you have, that's how fast you can run, you know? If you're running in a little room or if you're running in a stadium, it's different. So that's the space element. It has these qualities: soft, light, minute, homogeneous, and vocal in their attributes. And they increase tenderness, lightness, kinetic energy, or motility and porosity in the body. Well, I'm not even halfway done. So the next one, oh man, Vayavya Dravya, so the wind quality. Wind is a quality, wind. Wind is light, it is cool, it is rough, it is dry, it is minute. And minute means subtle, actually. It's not gross, as in something you can see, but it's a subtle thing. Like you can't see space, but you know, you can quantify space as a concept. That's what minute means. Not like water, which is gross in opposition. So it is also has a feel or a touch. So that's the sense that it involves. This says space involves sound, wind involves touch. Intake of these items increases roughness, repulsion, motility, and energy. You know how wind, being in a very windy place, feels. It feels very rough. It has strong winds have the tendency to drive you away, and motility and energy. So, I'm sorry, motion and energy, right? Obviously. And they're also light. They're cooling. They're rough, they're drying, they're subtle, and they have a touching sensation. the wind elements. Tejas Dravya, fiery quality. These are hot, pungent, light, dry, minute, non-sticky, and are attractive in form. Use of such ingredients increases burning, digestive power, metabolism, brightness or shine, enhances the complexion, and lends a healthy glow to the body. They also cause an overall sensation of heat. So that is very true. Apya or Jalya Dravya. So Jalya Dravya, these are liquid, cold, so this is water, liquid, cold, heavy, smooth, soft, and moist. They lend moisture and softness to the body, increase determination, and bring calmness and happiness to the mind and emotions. That's like how you feel when you go to a pool in a hot day, I guess. Or the beach. Boy. Prithviya Parthiva Dravya. So the earth quality. These are heavy, hard, tough, gross, solid. So this is the only one that has been called gross. Solid, non-sticky, and have an odor. So the earth has a quality of odor, whereas water has taste, but they didn't really talk about that. These substances cause obesity, so earthy substances like meat, with an increase in body weight and fat, and build muscles which provide strength and support. So in most of our history, being fat was a good thing. So this is not bad. Parthiva Dravya is heavy, hard, tough, solid, gross, non-sticky, and odorous. They cause obesity and increase body weight and fat and build muscles. So after examining the property and nature of these elements in the constitution, earth and water predominate in the body, they say. The solid part of the body, like muscles, is formed from the element of earth, and the liquid part is formed from water. The empty spaces and cavities are space and partly air. And apart from this, various physical and mental processes are carried out with the help of the element of air. That's communication in our body. The food we ingest is metabolized and converted into rasa, rakta, asti, and other dhatus by the element of fire. So the transformation is happening with fire. The three doshas present in the body, the dhatus constituting the body, and the malas, waste products, are also formed by the combination of these five basic elements. In the same manner, different kinds of food, materials, and medicinal substances that nourish and treat our body are also constituted by these five elements. So everything in our body and outside is a mix of these five elements, depending on the individual item. To categorize food materials, elements are identified according to their taste, their attributes, their potency, and their post-digestive effect. That's rasa, taste. So they're identified according to their taste, their guna or attributes, their virya or potency, and vipaka or post-digestive effect. It is sufficient to note that whenever there is an imbalance or disequilibrium in the body, a diet should be prescribed that will either increase or decrease the affected element in order to balance and restore harmony. So that kind of describes the quality of the 5 elements and the concept of 5 elements, and how it is very crucial to the concept of Tridosha, which is next. So space, wind, fire, water, and earth, which we talked about here and here. And that's the concept of Panchamahabhuta, or the 5 basic elements. Alright, that's it for today's talk. Till next time, we're going to get to lesson 2, which is chapter 2, page 17.